Hey guys, I want to give you a rundown of my flipping setup, kind of talk about the different rods that I use for different scenarios. So first we'll start out with my heavy, Florida mat punching rod. It's a 711 Essence heavy. I like a heavy opposed to an extra heavy. I like the rod to really give. It seems like for me, when I lean into a good one, the rod bends a little bit more and it keeps the fish buttoned up. It doesn't tear such a big hole in their mouth. And that's just my personal preference. I just prefer a heavy, versus an extra heavy. But I'm tried and true 711. You need the extra, you need the leverage of a longer rod to help keep the fish pinned and help move them a little bit more. I use 65-pound braid, high-speed reel. To me is a must. You can just make more flips, and the more drops you make in a day, the better off that your average is going to be. I like a 4/0 hook, and of course a tungsten weight. But I like, if I was going to fish tournament on Okeechobee, I like having multiple different weight selections, from a 3/4 to a 2 ounce. And I honestly like the same rod, the same setup for everything that I flip, for all my different weight sizes. And that, in my opinion, when you go from a 3/4 to an 1.5 ounces or vice versa, it doesn't take you as long to get on target. You don't have to fight going from a 711 with an 1.5 ounces to a 7.3, let's just say with a 3/4. You can on the fly, you can grab it, pick it up, make a flip, because you're only looking to target, one or two flips. And by the time that I was able to pick up and make an accurate flip, I've either splashed it next to the piece of cover that I wanted to fish and I ruined it, or I overshot it, or I undershot the deal. So having the same exact setup is pretty critical for the way that I like to fish. And that, again, it just helps me get on target quicker and less splashing around, because I'm a big believer in stealth. I want to lay it in, never make a ripple, no matter what I'm using, whether I'm using a 3/4 all the way to a 2 ounce. I want it to slide in extremely, gentle and be as subtle as I can be. But I do, as I travel all over the country, I do use multiple rods to flip with, especially when I flip fluorocarbon. I have a 7.3 mag medium heavy that I love to skip docks with and fish shallow. Over the years of fishing and flipping a big weight, my elbows have started to take their wear and tear on me. So having a shorter rod helps me be a lot more accurate. And again, because I want to be as accurate and as quiet as possible. And then I use a 7.6, I use a 711. I mean, it's just about wherever I go and what I'm fishing. Last season on tour, I went down to a 7.1, caught every bass that bit. It's just a preference. But to me, the most critical thing is to have the same action rod. Like I'm not a guy that jerks, coming out of my tennis shoes. I just kind of lean into them. So I want the same action, whether I'm flipping fluorocarbon and a 1/2 ounce jig, or I'm 65-pound braid and pitching a 2 ounce. I just want to be able to make the best and most accurate presentation that I can, regardless of where I am in the country. And that seems to be it. You can get away with a variety of different size rods. And that's been a trick of mine for the last few years. And it seems like I can go behind people and get a few extra bites just by my presentation alone, versus going in there, slamming it home, with a great big rod and stuff like that. So hopefully that'll help you out.